Hey everybody, what's up? How you doing? I hope you've been having fun sculpting. I saw a couple pieces posted up and they look awesome. Um, so just some feedback. How did it go? How did it go over the last couple days sculpting out your pieces? You guys have any questions that I can start off with, or do you guys want me to jump right into it? Cool. Yeah, Justin, man, I dig it. Um, that was a nice surprise this morning when I took a look at it. I was like, oh man, that looks great. Yeah, that can be a tough one, trying to decide what to do. Sometimes I let my subconscious start. I start moving, and just by moving, even if I don't have. Yes, key shot, not not today. I'll actually have to postpone that for a quick minute. But we'll be going into my 2.0 or Viewport 2.0, my Viewport 2.0, doing a little lighting setup, and then I'm going to go through a workflow that will open up the mouth, and then we're going to go Dynamesh, and then build in lower subdivisions to ZRemesher, do some final detail passes, go straight into poly painting, working on the eyes, and hopefully I'll be able to hit some Maya blend shapes for you today. And we can get this in a couple different poses, one ready for rigging, and then a couple just ready to see how it's going to look when it's posed out. How's that sound to you guys? What Dynamesh resolution would you recommend taking it up to? Was refraining to go higher. I took it from 32 to 75. Well, Simon, Dynamesh resolution is it's not a hard number, right? Because the if my creature or my model is larger in ZBrush's world space, right, my Dynamesh resolution will be lower, but I may have a higher poly count. So what you really want to watch is your active point count up here at the top, right? And I would say you don't want to go beyond, well, let's see. Well, in 64-bit, I don't think this is much of an issue. I don't know if you guys are using the 64-bit version or the 32-bit version of ZBrush. In the 32-bit version of ZBrush, I wouldn't go beyond, say, 800 to 900,000 polys, or 900,000 points. And the reason why is because beyond that, you start, in the workflow at least that I'm sharing with you, what we're going to do is we're going to take it up, I've taken up mine up to like 311,000 polys. I'm going to subdivide that up. I'm going to step back down, freeze subdivision, right? And we're going to start building in lower subdivisions so we can make larger movements in the mesh, right? And then end up producing a final mesh out of ZRemesher that we can actually rig. And on crit day, I'll bring in the creature that I had actually produced that inspired me to want to do this course and to show this, especially this portion of this course, because it really speaks well to ZBrush for doing these types of characters. When you have like, a weird sort of NPC that's floating around in the game that doesn't have, you're not doing a human face, which requires very strict ordered topology. Creatures can be sometimes a little bit more loose in that way. That makes sense. So especially when you're doing like insects, so ZRemesher is perfect for stuff like that. And like the manta ray crab that you had put together, Justin, is something that fits right into that. Same thing with you, Simon. That fits right into that. So I'll show you some animations that were done with one of the previous models I had done in this way, you guys. So Simon, does that answer your question about as far as your Dynamesh resolution? Don't look so much at the resolution, but look at your poly count. But do realize this: the higher you go in your poly count, when you go through the process of building back in lower subdivisions, it's going to tax out your machine more, All right, so you're going to take a hit in performance. You're going to be waiting longer for detail reprojection and all that sort of stuff. All right, any more questions before I start? No, 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 no. All right. Well, once again, good to have you here. And let's go through this guy. So I had some time to do a little bit of work on him yesterday and sort of sort out some of the things I felt uncomfortable with. And I took him, you know, he's maybe at like, I don't know, the sculpt is maybe at about 50% done. I could probably just take another 50% and go through and just do some really nice detail work. I'm not going to go through today and do the full detail on the character. I'll hit some of the larger sweeps and passes, and then I'll demo some of the sort of hand passes that that I like to hit in my creatures. On the next character we do, the next creature we do, I will spend a lot more time going in, and we'll just have full classes where it's just focused on, you know, getting different types of scales, different types of wrinkles and folds and patterns that, you know, would run across like crocodile skin, that sort of thing. And we're also on the next creature we're going to be doing starting next week. We're going to be doing avians, so I hope you guys enjoy that.